Hello and welcome to the Album Man, and today I'm going to be reviewing Omerta by Adrenaline Mob. So, this is the American hard rock / metal supergroup Adrenaline Mob's debut album, which as I said is called Omerta, and it's released on March the 19th, 2012, and so it's taken me quite a while to review and get round to this, but there's been quite a few releases and this came pretty late, to be honest, but I've had things like Flying Colours and Shine down, which unfortunately did take priority, but anyway, I'm doing it now. So this was the first album in Mike Portnoy March, with the second being Flying Colours, and there'll be a link to my review of that down below. Absolutely phenomenal album. That's an album of the year contender for sure. So this band consists of the ex-Dream Theater drummer Mike Portnoy on drums, of course, and I've said before that I think he's the greatest drummer who has ever lived, but that's just my opinion. Then we have Mike Orlando on guitar and bass from Stomp, and I can't say I know that band, but I've heard the name Mike Orlando before, certainly. And then Russell Allen from Symphony X. Can't say I know Symphony X either, but he has such a great metal voice, I can tell you that. And when now they're touring, thinking about what's called Mike Orlando, he can't play guitar and bass at the same time, so John Moyer from Disturbed plays bass on tour, if you were wondering. So, this album, well, let's go for the track listing. I always nearly forget the track listing. Undaunted, Psycho Sane, Indifferent, All on the Line, Hit the Wall, Feelin' Me, Come Undone, Believe Me, Down to the Floor, Angel Sky, and Freight Train. So yeah, this is Omerta, and it starts out with the first single, Undaunted, and I think this is one of the best tracks on the album. Such a great way to open the album. It's a great metal track. I would say more metal than hard rock, but it's certainly not exactly Lamb of God. Now I have to say, in general, I'm not really quite sure if they do fit into the heavy metal or the hard rock category, because they seem to seamlessly ease in and out of both of them, even just throughout a song, and certainly throughout this album. Yeah, but one thing I can say though, is that Russell Allen has such a great voice on this song and all the other songs on the album. His voice is really showcased very well on this album. Also, Mike Orlando's guitar work, it's superb on this track, and the chorus is just wonderful and so catchy. It reminds me of Alter Bridge, some of the songs from this album, but only in the simple sense it's sort of heaviest song, but they have a lot of melodic sensibility and a really good catchy chorus. Except for that, they don't really sound alike. I'm not comparing Alter Bridge to Adrenaline Mob, don't get the wrong end of the stick. And then we get to Psycho Sane. In this opinion, this just screams out to me Black Label Society. I think Russell Allen's voice sounded a little bit Zakk Wylde-ish on this. Even the guitar down to the wah pedal of Mike Orlando sounds Zakk Wylde-ish, and the chorus sounds pretty Black Label Society. But that's a good thing in my opinion. I'm a huge Black Label Society fan, so it's a really great song, and I think that's being played on the radio as well. Well, then we get to Indifferent, which as far as I know is the second single from the album, and it's one of my favourite tracks on this album. It's definitely hard rock compared to metal, and it starts off slow with a clean chorus before it gets to the catchy as hell chorus. Sorry, not with a clean chorus, let me say that again. It starts off slow with a clean verse even, before it gets to the catchy as hell chorus, which is heavier. And again, Russell Allen's particularly superb, but so is everyone else. It's just such a great, great song. I, could listen to it all day. Then we get to All on the Line, and this really does remind me of Alter Bridge. Well, in the verse, and it starts off slowly with a gentle, clean guitar behind Russell Allen's voice. It crescendos into a chorus, and again, a very strong chorus and song, just like the previous. And Orlando's solo is particularly notable in this song as well. Then we get to track 5, Hit the Well, and this is definitely metal. They speed it up after the last 2 tracks, and with a nice whiff from Orlando before Russell comes in. Again, the chorus is so great, and this song, it just shows the consistency of this album. It's just consistently great. Then we get to Feelin' Me. This has some awesome riffs by Orlando at the beginning, and again, it's all out metal with another great chorus, and I just love it. Even if lyrically the chorus as well, you have to hear it to find out. It's still a great song. And now we come to one of the highlights for most people on the album, and I agree completely. This is just a wondrous, wondrous song. And it's called Come Undone. Now you may have heard of this song because it's a Duran Duran song. Now you might think, why are people like Russell Allen and Mike Portnoy covering a Duran Duran song? It seems a bit of an odd choice for, you know, Adrenaline Mob. But wow, I mean, they turn this into a metal, well, more hard rock. Maybe I'd say this is more of a hard rock song. And with Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm on guest vocals, and I hope to review her album coming out, which is coming out the 9th of April, I think. Yeah, pretty sure. And she's on guest vocals. And wow, this is one of the great covers of all time. Deserves to go up there with Joe Bonamassa's cover of Slow Gin by Tim Curry, or Seaver's cover of George Michael's Careless Whisper. It's just a phenomenal cover. They make it sound like they wrote it themselves specially for this album. That's how well it fits. Lizzie Hale's vocals, they're as wonderful as ever. I mean, she's such a talented vocalist. Russell Allen and Lizzie Hale's voice, they just melt together in the chorus to create one super voice that rivals any vocalist you could think of. Well, obviously, except Ronnie James Dio, of course. But it's an exceptional song, and I would say joint or maybe best song on the album. It's just wonderful. It's a song I tell you, listen to on YouTube if you're not sure about this project, and you will be converted to the dark side of Adrenaline Mob. Right, now we get to Believe Me. And it's not as good as the track before it, but, you know, how many songs are? But again, it's another great song, great metal, and it's all you expect from an Adrenaline Mob song. Simple as, it's just conforms to the standard, but yet it's great. Then we get to Down to the Floor, and this is a real fist-pumping hard rock song that makes you just want to mosh and headbang to it. It's again a wonderful song, and it's just what I expect from a talented bunch of musicians like this. I mean, on paper, you know, this looks good to a metal fan, and it is. They really do live up to their names and reputations. And now Angel Sky, which is an interesting song, it starts purely acoustically for about 4 seconds before the melodic electric line comes in. And wow, it's such a good lead guitar line by Mike Orlando. I'm really rating him as a guitarist after this album. He's so talented. He knows how to use melody, but he can also shred and, you know, go all that sort of Metallica style and riffing. Really great. And after the melodic lead line, it goes back to acoustic with just Russell singing over, and his voice really shines in this song. And again, it just builds to another great chorus, and you realise that this band is not capable of a bad or even average song. I think Orlando's guitar on this song, it's simply spectacular. So good. And then last but not least is Freight Train. Or, well, last. Actually, no. I take that back. It's last but by far least is Freight Train. Now, I said before that Angel Sky made you realise that they're not capable of a bad or average song. Well, that's what you'd think listening to the album up to that point. And then just as they need to cross that final hurdle, they fall flat on their faces with Freight Train. It starts out the sound of a freight train, just like Slow Train on Joe Bonamassa's Dust Bowl, before it turns into the standard A-mob affair. And you're thinking, great, gonna be a good finish to this album. But then, with a lackluster chorus, and to be honest, just lackluster riffs, just everything is disappointing, and it does leave a bit of a sour taste in your mouth after the excellence that's been on offer before this. This song is one of those, it should have been hidden in the middle. It should never have been left to the end. I think it's an underwhelming song, and it is easily the worst song on the album. I'm not saying it's too bad. I mean, it's not like this is anything from Lutalica's Lulu, but it's not a good song. No. But still, it's better than most stuff you hear on the radio. Most mainstream crap, you know. But anyway, first, now, well, if you saw my Flying Colours review, then first, what the is that falling behind me? Oh, okay. It's a cover you can't see out there. Okay. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. So, like with my Flying Colours review, I talked about Mike Portnoy's drumming, because obviously that is something that Mike Portnoy fans care about. And I'd like to say that his drumming, it was nothing special on this album at all. He showed sparks of brilliance, but they were few and far between. To be honest, I did expect better from the world's best. His drumming on this album, yes, it's still better than the average metal drummer, but if I heard this album and didn't know Mike Portnoy was on it, I would have thought, yeah, the drummer's decent, he's better than the average lot, but he's nothing special, and certainly not one of the all-time greats. For his high standard of drumming, this is not impressive. And this, and Flying Colours, to be honest, make me think that maybe those people who say Neil Peart is the best drummer in the world are right. I don't, want to say that. I'm a huge Portnoy fan, but I'm getting more and more into Rush and realising how good Peart is. So, I think he needs to step his game up a bit, but still, with a song like Dance of Eternity, he's always going to be high on my drumming list. But anyway, in conclusion, Mike Portnoy and friends have delivered another cracking album, and this rivals his own Flying Colours album for Album of the Year. I'm going to give Adrenaline Mob a 9 out of 10 for setting the bar for modern metal/hard rock, but it doesn't have any particularly outstanding moments. Well, no, it does, except for Come Undone. There isn't anything particularly outstanding. It doesn't reinvent the wheel, but it does a damn good job of fine-tuning it. 9 out of 10, well done Adrenaline Mob and Portnoy. Your drumming may be not on top form, but your ability to put band members together to form a supergroup is on top form. So as usual, long live rock and roll!